Food and Trees for Africa, I think, was conceptualized in the late 80s. In the earlier days, it was actually just Trees for Africa, and then it became Food and Trees for Africa because we realized they needed boreholes in the townships to be able to, and they needed food. The real core of it was planting and improving the lifestyles and the environments of the townships of South Africa. In the earlier days, it was an exciting venture, and it wouldn't have happened without, I think, the Jewish National Fund, without SANBI, which was a semi-government organization, and the Nursery Association. At the time, I was president of SANA, the South African Nursery Association. So it became an exciting project, and a daunting one actually as well, because it was involved working with local communities in the townships, planting trees, getting to know the local communities. It was important always to work through a local organization, perhaps the youth group or the sporting group of a township, because in that way you got an intro into the townships and they didn't fear or think that you were just coming along paternalistically trying to do good. But we worked in the most amazing places, particularly to start with around Johannesburg. Mamelodi we went to in Pretoria. We planted trees in Orange Farm, we planted trees in Winnie Mandela Park, we planted trees in Deep Sloot in the very early days. We were always a mixed group that went. We had in Mamelodi, we had people like Kada Asmal, who was an amazing pioneer at that stage, and we had people like Joe Slovo, who was the first person who said that for every home there must be a tree. So during his period in office, we were planting trees wherever there was a new township. Toko Sekhwali came to the first tree planting in Deep Sloot. We did that also with the local community, and we had 1,000 trees sponsored by Melansian's plants. But this was all being done before Nelson Mandela became president. And the moment he was out of prison, we made contact with him. It's actually quite emotional at the time, because we actually went into Alex and we planted the first trees down the main street of the traditional old main street of Alex with crowds of people, and we started planting. And Madiba and I, on our knees, were planting trees, and the next minute a lady threw a hose pipe over the fence because we planted one right out. In fact, the one that Madiba planted was right outside her house, and she insisted that we bless it, and she got the hose pipe and was throwing water over the tree, and we had to bless it and all the rest of it. And then Madiba's security said to me, "You look too much like F.W. de Klerk, and this is Mandela, and you both better get in your cars and stuff off now, because there's going to be trouble." Because people were coming home and it was getting dark and all the rest of it. And that was the beginning of one of my first experiences. And then we used to go undaunted into many places. We got to know all the local communities in all the different townships, the length and breadth of the country, to be exact. And we were welcomed in there, and we planted trees. We started putting down boreholes, and I got lost in Soweto several times, and I was shown the way out. I went in for had tea with people, and it was just a fascinating period. We raised money. We had huge support. Some of them are still supporters of Trees for Africa, and I've always been an eternal optimist. So, I was just one of the people that really spent a lot of time fundraising with Janez. Janez was a leading light. I mean, Janez, really understands what it is to be thinking of global warming and, the greening of South Africa. And we had this incredible fundraiser in Sandton City, in the big convention center there. With 1,000 people, and we sold tickets and sold tables. It was just incredible, the amount of support we had, and that was just the best of society and people who wanted to make a difference in South Africa. I must say the media, they really followed us everywhere. If there was a tree planting in a township, they were there, and we got great exposure for the local communities as well that were involved. I remain a patron of Food and Trees for Africa, and I will continue to always work with them and for them as much as I can in my own way as I grow older.